We're late. We're late for a very important date.
We're late.
That's my favorite movie.
Oh, I mean that cartoon.
Hello.
Are we there yet?
We're live. We're live. Everybody say hi.
It didn't show up on my system yet. I don't know.
It's there. It says live. We've been live for 23,
Yeah.
24,
Yeah,
25
for-
seconds.
25-ish.
I'm not ready. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Live Q&A. We got an exciting discussion topic tonight. We got some coins to discuss and chat interaction. And I am BluesCoins. And we got a full panel of people tonight. So we're going to start off with introductions. And we'll start down, see, who doesn't look like they're ready? Paula doesn't look like she's ready.
How about Potter's Boy down there?
All right, we're going to start off.
Hi, Amber.
Want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, me?
All right.
Yeah, you're
Wait a minute. Oh, crap. I gotta hit the wrong button.
Oh no!
What happened?
She hit the big
What a
red button.
boomer!
It wasn't me. It was Blues. He did it.
There you go,
Hi,
Paula. You're up.
guys. I'm Paula Bloom. I have a YouTube channel. I love errors and varieties. I buy really good deals on Facebook. I usually do, but I love to learn about errors and varieties and teach about errors and varieties, pass on any information that I come across to you guys to help everybody become better collectors. I absolutely love this hobby, and I love all of these guys on the panel, and I love doing this every Monday now and seeing you guys, and thanks for showing up. So we're gonna have fun tonight.
All right.
Everybody
Thank you,
had fun tonight.
Coin Dragon?
Oh, me? Okay. Hello, everybody. Yes, it is I, Coin Dragon. Our real name is Frank. I've been kind of specializing in modis lately, trying to learn about them, what causes them, and stuff like that. But I do love varieties and errors. Been collecting them on and off for about 25 years-ish. And of course, Monday is now my favorite day of the week. Used to be Thursday, but now it's Monday because we're here on Monday. And I'm done.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you, Coin Dragon. Amanda?
Hi, I'm Amanda. My YouTube channel is Coin and Card Hobbyist. I have been collecting coins for about 10 years now, and my favorite research right now is Washington quarters, and I also really like world coins and also currency.
All right. Very cool. Thank you, Amanda. Blue Ridge?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm Blue Ridge, also known as Shaun. You guys, hey, that's me, right?
He's in the call-in spot.
I want to thank everyone for joining in this evening. We got a great show for you guys. A lot of great stuff. A lot of great emails came on through. A little bit about me. Just been collecting for over 25 years. Specialize in U.S. coins. I guess that's where a lot of us get started. We get into Canadian and currency, and thank God I stopped right there, because if I went into foreign coins or even ancients, I'd be dead right now. But anyways,
Double dies.
double dies with no extra D at the end. So I want to thank everyone for joining in. We're going to go ahead and kick this show off. Thank you, Eric.
All right. Thank you,
I
Shaun.
talk fast. I do say doubled, but I talk
Yep.
fast.
Hey everybody, my name's Jeff Stanley. I've got my channel, Jeff Stanley Coins and Octane. I've been absent from the show and a little bit absent from YouTube for the last couple months, just busy with life and work in general, but hopefully I'll be back on a permanent basis now. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to take my accumulated numismatic knowledge and pass that on to others and teach, because from teaching, I also learn quite a bit myself. My specialty traditionally, and I'll always have this specialty, will be Jefferson nickels, but I like a little bit of everything. Like right now, I'm tearing through Indian head cents pretty hard. I always do some world coins. I even dabble in some currency myself. So that's me in a nutshell.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Mr. Shea.
Good Lord.
I was like trying to get it loaded up real quick. Doubled. All right.
But it's not outside. It's summer.
And if you hadn't figured out who your anal retentive host is, it's me, the double die guy. No, I'm Shay, and I love to coin roll hunt for varieties. And I had a coin roll hunting show, Mantic Coins. Still have the channel there. I'm going to do stuff with it, but just not right now. I'm working on some big projects. In the meantime, I spend my days, other than working on this gigantic database, I spend time searching Lincoln wheat cents and looking for cherry picks on eBay. So thank you all for being here and supporting the show. We appreciate every one of you. I'm glad to see you here. We hope we can answer your questions tonight and have some good discussions. So looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Shay. Mr. Chris.
The man of the hour.
Buddy.
Oh, sorry. I'm the baby of the bunch.
Your class clown.
I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know why they keep inviting me back, because all I do is goof off the whole time. But I love coins, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Let's see what today's show has in store for you guys. Nice to see you all, by the way.
That's all you got?
That's all I got, brother. What do you want? You want a biography?
No. All right.
Like to thank the Academy.
And I'm BluesCoins, and I am the official button clicker host tonight. And welcome to the live Q&A show. Thank you, everybody on the panel, for being here tonight and taking time off of your schedule to be members of the panel and discuss the love that we have for coin collecting and all that good stuff. Everybody in the chat, welcome. There's a bunch of people in there. I'm not going to name off every name, but you all know who you are.
All us fellow coin nerds.
Yeah, I didn't give it away either. I kind of messed up. I'm not. Shoot. I need to stop taking a nap before this show because my brain is still dead. It might be one of them shows tonight.
But compose yourself, Eric. You do have 7 other people here that can help you out.
Exactly.
Yeah. We want to look at coins first or go to the topic section?
Yes.
I think we should go to the topic. I think we should go to the topic section.
All right. Tonight's topic, we're going to do an in-depth look at the ins and outs of buying and selling coins, either through YouTube, Facebook, eBay. And we're just going to get out some good general information and some knowledge for that. And that's all I have. I just have that written down as the topic.
Yeah. I think
On the table.
that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
There's a specific focus, though. You want to talk about it? About how to protect yourself and that sort of thing? We've had such interesting things.
I almost feel like Shay's putting you on the spot here, buddy.
My specific point that I got asked and tasked to do was to do shipping policies. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, sure. I think a couple of us. You were going to look at one specifically.
like the time, a good time frame. Like how long should a buyer wait for an item that's been sold to them?
Before it gets
It's pretty obvious that the show is not scripted, so
there's a whole bunch of different platforms, right? Social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, eBay, PayPal, internet, YouTube, I don't know, Craigslist. There's so many different platforms out there that you can purchase coins on. And so we wanted to talk about the different aspects of expectations between the buyer and the seller, and to how you can protect yourself, what ways can you make sure that you are protected, and what remedies might you be able to take to seek out in order to cure an issue that you're having with someone in particular. So and then this is in no way about anyone in particular. We're just talking to try to help you guys in your ventures, because every single person on this panel has bought coins online, and we've all been messed over. So we all have our own little stories and whatnot, and we hope sharing them with you will help you. So.
Yeah, actually, if you watched Shaun's video a few days ago,
great video, by the way.
That's kind of what sparked this whole topic. Yeah. So it's not about anybody not about anybody specifically. It just happened to spark up a discussion between us, and as we started discussing it, we just thought this would be a good topic to discuss with you guys to help you become better buyers or sellers in the future, if that's something that you would like to do, if that's where you want to go with your coin collecting. So hopefully we'll give you a little bit of help tonight and give you some good information.
So
that's the plan.
While we talk this through, feel free to throw in some questions in chat for everybody out there. I think the reason why this is such a big, important topic is that there is a huge emphasis in a lot of e-commerce. Buying and selling online, being able to trust the person that you're dealing with is important today, especially with COVID-19. There's not really a whole bunch of local coin shows or shops that you could go to. I would say probably 25% of them still exist out there in some capacity. So the next biggest form to buy coins, currency, or whatever your flavor is definitely online. Now, eBay has always been the gold standard when it comes to buying and selling online, not just coins and collectibles and that sort of thing, but everything. Their policies have changed over the years, all right? Some for the better, some for the worse. As you guys know, eBay and PayPal, the main hosting site for payments, they used to be one company. And a few years ago, they have separated. So they're two different entities, two different companies, two different CEOs. So things have changed that way. The whole payment services thing has evolved. We have something called managed payment services that's now on eBay that you guys need to know about. I couldn't give you enough information about it, but you could always go on eBay and look under the Q&A section. But when it comes to, let's say with eBay, when it comes to buying and selling, there is going to be more potential loss as a seller. Okay, some of you have probably heard, well, eBay always sides with the buyer. That's kind of true. Okay, if you look at the way the sales part of it of eBay works, is that you could list an item, whether it's a standard 5, 7, 10-day auction, or if you do a buy it now listing, that means you just add it to cart and then go ahead and check out. You could specify if you accept returns or not. And I think this is a big pain point for a lot of people who sell. And that's why a lot of people hate selling on eBay these days. is that you could put down in your listing, no returns accepted. However, the buyer can receive the product, and then for whatever reason, they could still file a return, okay, through the what I call the backdoor part of it, even though you don't accept returns. So let's say they could say something dumb like, oh yeah, there was a scratch here that wasn't evident on the photos of the listing. Then they could go through the back end and say, well, it's not as described. They're going to file a claim. They're going to force you as the seller to pay for the shipping, where traditionally, if you did accept returns, normally, you would specify that the buyer of the item would pay for the return shipping. But there's a workaround. There's two different ways as a buyer to return your item. The legit way and kind of like the underhanded, I'm going to screw the seller kind of way. So that's been kind of like the big issue with a lot of people that actually buy and sell on eBay. Now, from here, I think everybody on the panel can really add in some pretty valuable knowledge when it comes to buying and selling on Facebook, or Instagram is another big one, or any other method. Facebook groups is one that I think a lot of us participate in with pretty good success, and also some challenging areas. When you're buying and selling on Facebook, and it's kind of there are certain things you need to know about selling on Facebook too. Okay, there are some groups that won't allow selling, and Facebook has been kind of changing their policies a little bit about actually doing sales of that type on Facebook. But you really have to watch out. Again, this is as a seller, I'll say this: if you're selling coins through a Facebook group, you want to make sure that you, if you can, and this is something that everybody's doing on these groups, is to get references. Has anyone ever dealt with this individual before? Okay, it builds a little bit of trust, when you're out there selling to someone. Furthermore, you want to keep in mind that all transactions, people will accept Venmo and all these other things. I still use PayPal because you're covered as both a seller and a buyer. If you sell something on Facebook, you want to make sure you do the transaction. It doesn't matter if it's your best friend. Make sure you do every transaction as a goods and services transaction. It covers both the seller and the buyer. So if something happens, let's say that buyer claims that they didn't receive the product when they probably did, you have protection as a seller. You can say, well, I provided a tracking number or a signature, and it's all documented. And those are things that'll help you win your case. And the same goes for being a buyer. Okay, I've seen this all the time. You as a buyer, you find a coin that's really nice, but it's like $300. You go and buy the coin, okay, and then here you are. You're waiting like 3, 4, 5 days, and then no correspondence from the seller. Or that individual's kind of giving you the runaround. Oh, yeah, I was on vacation this weekend. I'll get it out on Monday, I promise. And, they'll go from that, and it's like 2 days later, you don't hear anything, don't see any tracking. And then you try reaching out to them. You type a message through Messenger and say, hey, what's going on? I thought you were going to have this out. And then they'll just give you some runaround. The good one is that they'll get their spouse involved. They're like, oh, yeah, my wife was supposed to drop it off and all that stuff. So that's one, I've seen that multiple times. It's like getting someone else involved in the transaction. I'm like, why'd you do that? But that's like kind of the big thing out there. If you're not paying for it or accepting the funds in what I consider to be a business type transaction, okay, you are going to have to pay the fee. That is the cost of doing business. It's a very small fee. It's like 3%. But you would be surprised. People get bent out of shape over like $5 fee when you're actually buying the protection, okay, as a buyer. So anyways, that's kind of like my 2 cents and what I want to put into it. I'm sure these other guys on the panel want to add some input, okay? But that's a good baseline to start. All right. So I'll leave it to everyone else to chime in. Hopefully that helps.
I'd like to kind of cover kind of my thoughts on shipping for just a minute, if that's okay. I kind of was thinking about this topic, and I kind of drew up for myself kind of like not really a bill of rights, but kind of expectations of a coin seller on eBay or social media. I focused on a lot of areas, but I'm gonna focus right now on shipping, and I kind of came up with 4 points that a seller should stick to. It's kind of, if I was king of the internet, then these would be my rules. Okay. Number 1, ship on time. Your item should be ready to ship within 2 to 7 business days. It is reasonable to expect delays on weekends, holidays, but a customer should not have to wait more than a week or so for an item to ship. And I think, a week is kind of out there a little bit. I think kind of standard would be 2 to 3 days. We're all busy. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt to go to the post office and drop a package off. So 2 to 3 days, I think, is reasonable to actually pack and ship. Pack your items in an approved shipping media that will protect the shipment. It's not hard. It is not rocket science, folks, especially coins. I mean, you've gotten coins before where somebody's, taped them to a Coors Light box or something like that, stuck in an envelope, and you get it, and the coin's got tape gunk on it. It's not hard to invest in a little mailer or whatever, a padded envelope, and ship it out. Next, tracking insurance up to or exceeding the purchase price should always be provided unless the item is particularly of low value. You might have like a Lincoln Head cent that's $1 or something like that. Okay, maybe you can kind of white envelope that or something like that. You don't want to charge too much for shipping something like that, but you should insure the item so that if it doesn't show up, nobody's out any money. You'll be happy. The seller or the buyer will be happy. If that item does not show up, then everybody's covered and everybody's happy at the end of the day. The communication of shipping times. And that tracking information should be given to the customer every single time. Communication of shipping times, unforeseen issues that delay shipment, and sharing of the tracking information. Communication is so key, and I think that's when you see people that are having disputes about a sale online, 9 times out of 10 it's because somebody didn't communicate properly. Somebody didn't take the time to bang out a 2-line email or even pick up the phone or whatever and explain the situation. Life happens. Things come up all the time. Should that delay something for months? No, it shouldn't delay things for months. But, things do happen, and people should be a little bit patient with one another and definitely communicate if you're the party who's had the issue. With that being said, I think the seller has some commitments that they need to stick to. Number 1 is if you're buying on eBay or somewhere else, make sure your shipping information is up to date. If you go and you bang a payment for a shipment or whatever, or for an order, and your address is wrong, guess what's going to happen? Your address is going to be wrong. They're going to ship it to the wrong address. Make sure that's right. If you deal in expensive items, rent a PO box. If you're dealing with stuff that's like $500, $1,000 or whatever on a regular basis, PO box will save you a lot of grief. Let's see what else. Just be patient and reasonable. Use the tracking number to track your shipment's progress. You don't have to hit the guy up every single day. Do you have my, where's my item? Why is it not here or whatever? And try to be understanding. Once it leaves that post office or it leaves somebody's address, it's picked up. At that point, anything can happen. And don't get angry at the seller. I mean, if they did everything that they could do to track it, insure it and stuff like that, things are going to happen. Try to be understanding about it. I had a package. I had a order from eBay where the guy shipped it out in mid-July. I got it the middle of last month. It was shipped from Omaha, Nebraska, and actually showed up in Puerto Rico on tracking. It took 2 months to get to me. I mean, it's a coin. If you're, I had no reason to be in a hurry for a coin. It was actually going in my collection. Yeah, if I was buying it for a customer, maybe I'd be a little upset about that. But try to be reasonable and then communicate. That's key. That's it.
See too.
I'm sorry, Blues. What happened?
I want to add a couple of notes on to Jeff. The plain white envelope. Why is my camera off?
I don't know.
Why am I hitting the wrong button?
I don't know.
There I am. Oh my goodness. It's going to be one of the nights for me. It really is.
Just go with it.
Plain white envelopes. You will see this on the sale group. The seller will actually offer 2 shipping options. Bubble mailer for $4, which is pretty standard. And then a plain white envelope for either free or $1. Bubble mailer is going to give you a little bit more protection. If it's a $3, $4, $5, $6 coin, plain white envelope is good. These people know how to secure the coin in them things so they stay protected. So that's always an option. And Jeff also mentioned wrong address, and this actually happened to me. When I bought this farm, I changed all my addresses on PayPal, but I did not take my old address out, and PayPal defaulted to my old address. So I had packages going to my old address, and it was from Ken. I had packages coming from Ken. Actually, one of the Big Show packages went to my old address. So if you do an address change on PayPal because you decided to use a PO box permanently, or you bought a house, or you moved, take that old address completely off the system. PayPal will default to it for some reason. It just happens. So just kind of pay attention to that. Wrong address things is, I wouldn't say it's common, but it happens, and stuff gets shipped to the wrong address because that's what the seller is seeing when they're printing out their labels.
Yeah. So can I speak next?
Sure.
I think Chris is chomping at the bit down there.
The talking pillow.
I'm going to make him wait. I'm actually going to take you guys all the way back to the beginning. So a lot of you are brand new collectors. And even if you're not, some of this information, hopefully you'll get something out of it. My biggest contribution tonight is to what I really want for you guys is to be informed. Be really informed buyers. And the best way for you to do that is to do your research. It's so important. I know we get so caught up when you're brand new to this hobby. You've got like 5 things, and you're looking at everybody else on YouTube, all their collections, all these beautiful coins, and you're just like, oh, how can I just want to get it all. I want my collection to be big, and I want it to be big right now. I understand it, because I think that we probably have all been there, and that's okay. But what we want for you is to make sure that you are aware that these coins, there's places that you can do your research to find the values of these coins. And we're going to actually give you a couple demonstrations tonight on how to look some of these things up, and how little time it takes. So, because I know a lot of you go to auctions on YouTube and stuff, and you think, gosh, if I wait, I'll lose the item. But it really does. It takes seconds to look up some of these values. So we want you guys to make sure that you know what you're buying. You know what that coin is. You know that the seller is giving you accurate information. If you're buying an error in variety, that variety, they're able to show you that variety under a scope, clean and clear. You shouldn't ever buy a variety or an error by somebody who can't even show you that coin. That you need to be able to see that coin. You need to point out where that error in variety is. And if it's a variety, that variety should be attributed. They should be able to give you an attribution number. Not, I've seen it before. Yes, so I have this double die. I don't know which one it is, but it's a double die. Trust me, take my word. You guys have to protect yourselves. And by just doing a little bit of research, you'll save yourselves a lot of money. Because so twice in the last couple of months, I'm just going to give you a couple examples. I'm not going to give any names, but I've helped people out twice. Well, I'm starting to help another person that they're in a situation right now where they want to sell some of their coins. And they're finding out the hard way that they have really overpaid for a lot of these coins, and they're never going to get that money back. And we really, all of us on the panel are super passionate about that not happening to you guys. You guys protecting yourselves and asking questions and doing your research, because it's really heartbreaking when someone has paid $250 for something, and I have to tell them that the fair market value is $100. That's very heartbreaking. So that's what I want for you guys. And that's, like I said, we're going to do a couple demonstrations on a couple ways that you guys can look up fair market values. We're not going to, go into gray sheet and all of that, dealer prices, anything like that. We're just going to give you straight fair market value. We talked about it a bit this morning. If you see a coin in an auction and you really need that coin, or it's a coin you've been looking for, and there's somebody bidding against you, it's okay to pay. If you know that coin you're going to love that coin, it's going to be in your collection. It's okay to pay, a little bit over, but not exorbitant amounts. So we just want that. That's my goal for tonight for you guys, is to help you learn how you can quickly look up values of coins and understand that you don't have to overpay, and you're not buying. It's not a one of a kind. There's more out there. So anyway. So that's my rant for tonight.
All right. Chris, you're holding your mouth. Did you have something to add to this?
I have so much to say, but I will try to keep it as short as possible. First of all, I totally gave up on eBay. I mean, there's so many unscrupulous sellers on eBay anymore. It's crazy. You buy something, you think you're getting a good deal, then they cancel the transaction or something, and then you see it relisted, or something happens and that unscrupulous seller gets removed from eBay. They just come back with a new seller name. It's total anarchy. There's no control whatsoever, and it's really crazy. The amount of mislisted items on eBay is also crazy. If you just do a basic search for error or variety or whatever, double die, whatever you want to look at, most of the listings are not what they claim to be, and you really have to sift through all of the garbage and junk to find something really good. And it's just crazy. So I totally gave up on it. I buy from it once in a while, but I will not sell on eBay anymore. The last couple times I tried selling coins on eBay, the buyers tried pulling fast ones on me. Luckily, I take all the precautions necessary to cover my own butt. I've been with PayPal and eBay for a very long time, so when it came down to it, they believed me over them anyway, but it's just not worth it. So in trying to overcome those barriers, I got on the train with creating one of the Facebook groups specifically for selling coins. When I created this one, I was part of the Coin Up group, and there were a bunch of other coin groups on Facebook, but they were kind of iffy as well. There were a few very large ones, but there was always issues with bad sellers or bad buyers, people getting ripped off. So I, as well as a few other people, some on the panel, some in chat, decided to create a group specifically to sell coins. And we created a list of rules, and we made it so that not just anybody could sell in our group. We kind of do a little bit of a background check on the sellers. The sellers have to be experienced. In most cases, I will give brand new sellers an opportunity to try it out. Everybody deserves a chance, I think. So, we prefer people that have experience, and we prefer people that have a reputation. So then we have a list of rules that these people have to go by, including, clear photos. If they're trying to sell a variety, they have to state what variety it is and the source where they got that information, so that we can double check. As a new seller, even an experienced seller, but new to our group, everything is on an approval basis, so that the admins get a chance to review those posts before they get posted live. And so in a roundabout way, we have complete control. If a seller gets on there and they are able to show after a few posts that they are creating a good post, their information is accurate, their pictures are good, their prices are right, then we give them pre-approval and they can go ham, and we rarely ever have an issue in the group, and it's just because of the amount of control we have over it. And it's not censorship in any way, believe me. It's control to keep both the buyers and the sellers safe. Most of the people that get removed from the group are actually buyers who back out on deals. Very rarely do we remove a seller from the group because we only allow good sellers in the group. Now, the topic of the day kind of seems to be about shipping. So, everybody has their own methods of shipping. I actually use used shipping supplies. I buy so much. I'm getting all these bubble mailers in the mail all the time, and I think it's a shame to just throw them away because they're fine. But let me grab something real quick.
And Poofy is gone. Don't be afraid to reuse shipping supplies.
Okay, so here's a bubble mailer I got, right? It's clean. I don't use the real crappy ones. Those get thrown away, but this one's relatively clean. And if I really wanted to, I could just cut this label right off and use this the way it is. But what I do is I go out and I get these manila envelopes. They're large, 8.5 by 11, full-size envelopes. But the good thing is, if you fold them directly in half, they are about the size of a standard bubble mailer. And you can drop one of these bad boys right inside that manila envelope, tape it all up, and you got yourself a nice, clean-looking shipping package that costs you virtually nothing.
That's really going to hold up.
Oh, it's definitely going to hold up. These things are thick. These are really thick. And I've even bought the ones from the Dollar Tree. They come like 8 in a pack, but you're doubling it up. You're taping it. Nothing's going to happen to it. And then you got a bubble mailer inside. Now, we talked about white envelope shipping, okay? I sell a lot of low-end coins. I'm not a coin dealer. I do this as a hobby. So I'm buying stuff that I think beginner collectors want. So I do a lot of white envelope shipping as well. I charge $1 for it. It costs me 95 cents to ship it out, so I'm making a nickel. Big whoop, right? But the important thing is how you do it, okay? I always save like boxes like this, real thin cardboard, but it's actually pretty sturdy cardboard. And I will cut that about the size of the envelope, and I will take a carded coin. I know Paula hates these 2x2s with staples in them. I will take a carded coin, I fold that cardboard around it and staple around the cardboard. I pop it inside the envelope, and then I tape the entire outside of the envelope. And I'm telling you, that's indestructible.
Yeah.
It's virtually impossible to damage this thing in shipping, and it costs me nothing. And then when you go to the post office, yes, I'm old school. I still go to the post office, even though I'm the youngest one in the group.
Careful, you tell them it's indestructible. They might take it as a challenge.
The thing is, you have to pay the extra small charge for non-machinable, and they will put a special stamp on there and throw it in a special bin, and then it gets handled a little bit differently. And I've never had a problem. Knock on wood. I've never had a problem with these ever. Also, priority mail flat rate boxes and envelopes. Do not disregard those things, because I'm telling you, you can pack so much stuff in those things. It's amazing. It's like a cardboard envelope, legal size, 8.5 by 11. You can get a lot of stuff in there, and it only costs like $7.85 to ship it. And then key, tape the hell out of it. Tape is cheap. Somebody said it in the chat earlier. Tape is cheap. Use it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to use it. Don't rely on the seams that are made by the company that made those packages for the post offices. Tape them up. Flat rate boxes, those things are great. So do not disregard those. Now, the biggest topic was time frame on shipping. As Jeff outlined in his little bylaws of shipping, I like that a lot, by the way, because those are pretty much, rules that should be stood by when you're buying or selling. But 2 to 3 days is really standard. As he said, though, things come up. The biggest thing is communication. Just communicate with people. If something comes up, tell them. Yeah. When I create a post, I work 12-hour shifts, so I literally cannot ship anything Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I can't do it because I'm at work the entire time the post office is open, so it's impossible. So when I create a post, I put right in my description that I only ship on Thursdays and Fridays, occasionally Saturdays, but usually Thursdays and Fridays. So there are times if I sell something late on a Friday afternoon, I might not be able to ship it till the following Thursday. So the longest time it's going to take me to ship something is 6 days. Although if something happens and I cannot do it, I will talk to that person and let them know. Your reputation is everything when you're selling online. That kind of leads me into the last thing I want to talk about. Thank God.
But wait, there's more.
I do all of my business on Facebook, and because of that, I follow a few of the blacklist groups on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I know Amber's in them. I know Paula's in them.
Not on the blacklist, in the group.
Yeah.
I guess I should have specified. Good call.
I keep
I thought I was on the blacklist once, but it wasn't me.
It was a different one. Yeah, different.
But no, seriously, these blacklist groups are invaluable. I'm active in them. I'm always scrolling through them, and for some reason, I remember stupid stuff like somebody's name being on the blacklist, but I can't remember a lot of other things that are a lot more important. But so it kind of triggers things when somebody tries to join my group. I remember a name. I really do. So then I'll do a quick check. And if I see them in the blacklist group, now they're getting blocked. So that's pretty much all I can say. So if you're going to buy and sell on Facebook specifically, I encourage you to join those blacklist groups. Just type in blacklist or coin blacklist or something like that, and there's 2 or 3 of them out there that are pretty legit, and they have extensive lists that go all the way back to the beginning of the Facebook coin sales days. So they're pretty spot on. And if somebody messes up in these groups and they're doing it intentionally, they're going to be caught and they're going to be reported to these lists. So that's why, I feel really safe doing business on Facebook, even though Facebook itself is making it very hard. They actually outlawed and banned the sale of coins, currency, precious metals, tokens, etc., stuff like that.
To keep changing the rules.
Yeah, it was banned 2 or 3 years ago now, and I've heard that part of it was because terrorist groups were using precious metals to transfer money, and Facebook didn't allow them to use that platform to do that. So that was part of it. But at any rate, so it's difficult. It's getting harder. This new Facebook format makes it really hard, but we keep finding ways around it. So
yeah, Chris, maybe you could touch a little bit on how important reputation is and how quickly that can be ruined.
Oh boy, reputation is so important. Like I said, anybody that does a lot of business on these Facebook coin groups is undoubtedly also a part of the blacklist groups. And if you are doing bad things to people, you ruin your reputation. You will get removed from every single legitimate coin group out there because they're all part of these groups.
Yep.
And that goes with anything, selling stuff that is misrepresented or terrible shipping practices or whatever it is. There's so many people out there that, you make a mistake. Okay, that's one thing. Everybody makes mistakes, and usually people are pretty understanding about that. But when you have the same type of issue going on a few times, then you've created a pattern, and your reputation starts nosediving real quick. And I've seen a lot of people, I call them flashes in the pan, because these people come out of nowhere. They don't know anything about the hobby. Next thing you know, they're selling high-end coins. And wouldn't you know it, a month later, it comes out that they were ripping people off. Yeah. I've seen it so many times. It's sad, but true. It happens. So make sure you protect yourself. Yeah. I'm with Shaun. I use PayPal whenever I can because it's the only third-party payment service that I know of that actually offers true buyer and seller protection. And that's only when you use goods and services, by the way. I do use friends and family once I create a relationship with a buyer or a seller, because why not save each other a few dollars in fees? Because PayPal, by the way, is charging even more fees now, even when you do friend-to-friend transfers of money. But so make sure you protect yourself and do your, as Paula said earlier, do your research, not just on the coins you're buying, but on the people you're buying them from.
Yes.
You can't do that on eBay because everybody has their own handle or fake name or whatever. Facebook, kind of regulates that. You can't really have a fake name on Facebook for too long, and they will close your account until you verify your identity. So there's so many reasons why I stick with Facebook selling for now. So hopefully you guys learned something from that. That's all I have. I'm going to lose my voice.
Yeah, I like to expand a little bit on what you were saying, Chris. So YouTube, you don't have to put me up. You can put me back down. YouTube is, so Ken always said that, a couple of years ago, there were hardly any people doing auctions. Now, I mean, there's not a day that you can't turn YouTube on and find 50 auctions, so there's always auctions going on. So I predict that somewhere in the near future there may end up being a YouTube blacklist of sellers. If it happens on Facebook, I mean, I'm seeing people some people that their reputations there's already word going around. You guys probably know somebody that I may be referring to. He's shown up, sold things, disappeared, shown back up, sold things, disappeared. That word got around really quick. So if you do intend on selling your coins or becoming a seller or whatever, or you just have extra stuff that you've bought and want to sell now, I just really want to recommend that if you do know that you have overpaid in that item, that you just take a loss on that. Don't try to visit your mistake on the next person that purchases your coin. Just understand that you did what we have all done and overpaid for something, and let somebody buy it at a fair price.
Yeah, that's just kicking the can down the road. That's all that's doing.
Yeah, because your reputation really is everything, and I can tell you that the more auctions there are now, the more people that are watching, and it really does only take a couple poor transactions for your reputation to be destroyed, because you're not the only one. Now you can go to 50 other people and buy. So
this day and age, you have so few opportunities to rewrite things. Like Chris had mentioned, it's not like, once your reputation takes a huge hit, that you could just close your account and then open up a new one. No, it doesn't work out that way anymore. It used to be in the old Wild West on social media 10 years ago that you could very easily do that, or even on eBay for that matter. I wanted to take a second to address Ida's question from about 10 minutes ago. She asked if sellers can just charge whatever amount of money for shipping. And unfortunately, they can. But when you're putting a listing up, eBay has a recommended kind of dollar range for a certain service. Like, for example, first-class shipping. They'll say, oh, you ought to charge between $285 and $350 for this type of item, and then you go by their guidelines. But it used to be probably a little over a year or two ago that you could charge an absorbent amount of money for shipping, and you could pocket a good deal of that money if it only costs you, say, a small percentage of the shipping fee that you charged. These days, you can't get around that because eBay will charge you even on the shipping fees. So if you charged, I've seen people try and get around the seller's fees by charging like $300 for shipping.
Oh,
when they know it only costs like $10. But eBay is privy to that. They will charge a percentage even off of your shipping fees. So I wasn't sure if you guys knew that. That was a huge issue before they changed the policy on that.
Yeah, I remember seeing coins that I'm like, guy, that's really a good deal. And then you go down.
Yeah, and you look at the shipping, it's like $335.
Yeah.
They're trying to get around the final value fee is what it's called.
Dirty red
item.
I remember on that.
That's false advertising.
It surely is.
I bought like 20 mint sets from some guy thinking, okay, yeah, he'll combine shipping. That's not a big deal. And I paid absolutely not. I got those mint sets so cheap, he would not combine shipping for me. And I $4 for $3.
It's messed up.
Sellers pay money for advertising their services. They have certain numbers that they follow that say, okay, it cost me this much to reach a particular sale, or how many advertisements do I have to put out before I get one sale? So each sale actually costs them money for advertising. And you know what? This right here is how I vote on a seller. This is my wallet, and when I finally make a decision to buy something from a seller, and I do send them, and my dearly departed dollars go their way, I am now looking at everything they do. Did they ship it within a reasonable period? Did I get it and the coins were intact? Was there the word coin on the outside of the package. I check all these things because I'm checking out that seller to know whether I ever want to part with more dollars to that person again. So it is in your best interest as a seller to do all the things, take all the precautions, and treat buyers right, because it only grows the number of people that continue to buy from you. Picky buyers will come back. I go back to the same sellers all the time on eBay. The ones I don't, I vote with my wallet. They're gone. I'll never buy from them again. They're on a list. All right. So you guys can build this list yourself, and because you will run into it. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was with PayPal specifically. So PayPal has a couple of different options for sellers. You can do a pre-sales, but you have to let PayPal know you're doing pre-sales because they need to de-risk the transaction. And because they, things like an overseas purchase. The pre-sale is like, hey, I want to sell shirts, but I got to order them from China. So you prepay me and then I'll buy the inventory I need. Well, you never know what happens to that inventory. And PayPal knows this. So they make you go through a pre-seller avenue. Otherwise, you have, there's some expectations on your service, and there are some things that you can do as a buyer. So let's say you purchase something using PayPal. You should check and follow up within the next few days to see that your item shipped. If it didn't ship, then you can reach out to the seller after 3 or 4 days and ask them a question. You can always contact the seller. But give it a little time because, like Chris said, certain things happen. Now, after
my kid wants to know if you're ready to sell some coins, Shay.
Yeah.
Or do you need more time?
Yeah.
Anyway,
no laugh.
So then you can. Thanks for. Dang it.
Sorry.
Train of thought derailed.
Next. No. All right. So, once you do that, you now have another opportunity to evaluate your seller. All right. So maybe they do pop it in the mail and you get it and everything's great. Right. Now there's 2 things that can happen. You can not get the item at all, ever, and time just keeps ticking and they never sent it. Or you can get an item that is not necessarily as described. All right. And you can, at this point, decide what to do. You can go in and you have 20 days to resolve the issue with the seller. All right. And usually after let's say you had the dispute. You want to go ahead and go into PayPal and file a dispute. And then at that point, you have 20 days in which to resolve it with the seller. If you don't, and you never receive the item, or you got an item that's not as described, then PayPal will actually pay you back for it if you use goods and services. All right, and they'll handle it with their seller. All right. Now, you guys should know that there's 180 days. They prefer you do it in under 60 days, but you can file a dispute within 180 days. If you haven't gotten your item after 20 days, you should call it a wash and basically just file your dispute and get a refund. Because at this point, the seller, something had to go wrong. Now, I know things happen. People pass away, people have tragedies in their family and things like this, but you know what? That money should just be sitting right in their account and it comes right back. It's okay. You can ask for the money back. All right. So anyway, all the different platforms have different policies. Like Amazon, they expect their sellers to usually sell ship within 2 to 4 days, before depositing that money into their account or whatnot. If you also have to think about, is it an international purchase? And usually you can tell if, I make it a personal policy that in my eBay searches, I say nothing from outside the United States, but some people can't get what they want outside the United States, or maybe they can't. But anyway, you can always narrow the the search to just get the coins from the United States. And that way your shipping will at least be 4 or 5 days. So, all right. So I don't really have a whole lot more to cover other than that. I just want to make sure that you guys think about voting with your wallet, getting a refund and filing a dispute if you need to. Don't just walk away and say, oh, well, it's your money, because we want you to be able to buy more coins. All right. And as a seller, think about the ethics and the cost it takes for you to get another buyer, and think about how you should treat your buyers in order to improve that. There you go.
So Eric, BluesCoins did a video yesterday, I believe, on how to navigate through NumisMedia, which is a fair market value, collector fair market value place you can go to look up the value of your coins. We all of us here on the panel use that. It's a great resource. None of these are going to be exact. NumisMedia does update their values monthly, I believe. They do it at denomination. They'll go down the list
way more often than the Red Book does.
Yeah, and so he's got a great video. So I don't think we need to take time on that, but I do want to show them real quick. If you're buying slabbed coins, a super easy, and like I said, these will be PCGS and NGC's values. They're what they're putting the value on that coin. So there's wiggle room in there, but it's going to get you in the ballpark. So if that's okay with you guys, can I show them how to do that real quick and show them how quick it is to look those up?
No way.
Go for it.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Okay, so Blues, do you want to put me up real quick? I have a couple of examples.
Yeah, you going to do a screen share or on your?
Well, you can just put me up real quick because I'm going to show them. Let me go to my microscope. So this is if you're buying a slabbed coin on anywhere, Facebook, YouTube, eBay, whatever. It's super quick once I get everything set up. So we're going to put this one up. And what you're looking at here on this are these numbers right here. 35035558. Now let me get up PCGS cert verification. So I'll go back and share my screen. I'll show you where I'm looking. So this is PCGS certificate verification. Can I see it? Yeah. Okay. So right here, verify another. And if somebody wants to grab that link there, they can put that in chat so people can. So right there is the verify number. And what you're going to do is you're going to type in that number I showed you. So this slab number is 35035. And you're probably a lot faster at typing than I am, so you'll probably even be able to do it quicker. PCGS is great because you don't have to put in the grade on NGC. You'll have to put the grade in. So right here it tells you. So this is a 1995 S1. Tells you what it is so that you can make sure that what's on the slab that you're buying is actually what's on here. Sometimes you'll have a photo that you can actually compare the coins. And right here is PCGS price guide value. So that's the ballpark you want to be in when you're going to be buying this coin. 14 bucks. Okay. So now I'm going to go to NGC because I have another one up here. Whoops, that's NGS, whatever. NGC cert lookup. And I will show you.
Pretty similar.
See if I can put up. Can I put so it's pretty similar, except that this one's got like a little dash. It's a longer number, and you are going to need the grade of that coin when you look it up. So let me take this off, and we'll go back to my screen. I know, right? So right down here, you can see cert number. I'm going to type that number in, 5843.
271469.
Stop it, Frank. And let me know this is.
I love doing that to people.
I know. Well, you may have screwed me up. We'll see when I pull it up. This
Because
is,
that wasn't the point.
and this is tells you what the coin is. Right here, it's got the.
Oh, look at me! I got a close hand.
Now this one's not giving me a price tag value, simply because it's a variety, and so if that's the case, if you come up on something like this where it doesn't have a price guide value, you can go to eBay and type in that coin with that grade and go to sold listings and see if you can find a sold listing on that. Or you can look it up at 1999 S Close AM on PCGS price guide.
But look, there's the coin right there, too.
But look, there's the coin. Isn't that nice?
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah,
So,
can be
yeah,
kinda tough.
so I mean that took me like seconds. What are you laughing at, Chris? They're all gonna laugh at you. Whatever.
Oh, look at me! I got a 99 close hand.
Oh, shut up. I don't know why this light is like right on. I got like a light right here on my forehead. I don't know what's happening.
The one thing I want to add to all of this discussion is communication. If you know shipping is going to be delayed, don't BS around it. Don't ignore the problem. Communicate with these sellers. Let them know, hey, they don't need to hear no excuses to say, sorry, I'm going to be delayed a couple days.
Yeah.
Something happened to the family. Let these people know. Communication is key to a lot of this.
Yeah.
Everybody is understanding if they're in the loop of something. So
I thought you were talking about shipping charges. Because I don't like those.
And you can't do it till Tuesday, let them know that. Hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't get it out today. They'll be shipped first thing Monday.
Yeah.
So communication is to a lot of this.
Absolutely. Coy also pointed out that PCGS also has an app that you can use on your phone where you can scan that cert number.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, so that is a fantastic thing to use. I forgot about that. And that's even faster than watching me try to type in the number.
Yeah, because that was cool.
Amanda, did you have anything that you wanted to add? Amanda?
Well, I would have one thing that we might want to mention.
Okay.
And I don't really have experience with it. It's just something that I see happen with a lot of people that sell stuff. But every once in a while, they will sell something, and the tracking on the package will say it got delivered, but the buyer claim they never got it. So what does everybody think is the proper way to respond to that?
Well, I think in that case, you need to take it up with the post office. I don't know what other recourse you have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
There's a couple possibilities of what actually happened. Number one, the package got lost, which I have actually experienced that myself. My postal carrier was on vacation, and the fill-in happened to drop a package of mine down in a crack inside the truck. And it was after he scanned it that he delivered it. So it was a weird situation. So it does happen. The second thing that could be a possibility is the buyer or the receiver of the package is straight up lying about it and trying to get away with something. There's also another possibility where the mail was stolen out of somebody's mailbox or what have you. So it's one of those situations where you got to kind of take each instance and view it in its entirety to kind of get a feel for what's going on. I don't think there's one simple answer for that problem because there's multiple possibilities what could have happened there.
Porch pirates.
So I know that I bought 40 rolls from somebody and they showed up as delivered. And I contacted him. I was like, because I didn't get a tracking number, and I contacted the seller, and I was like, hey, just checking in because I hadn't received the item. And he pulls up the thing and says, well, it shows it was delivered. And he's like, well, no, I promise I hadn't gotten them. I really like to get them. So he had the file with the post office, and it took about a week. And they got back to him and said, sure enough, it never was delivered. They weren't sure why it was marked as delivered. And the package was lost. The package was lost ever since. So then he sent me another set of rolls. But, you know, it looked to him, it could look like I was trying to rip him off.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looked like
That's
he
a
was
tough
ripping me off.
situation.
And it's tough. So don't ever assume anything, because it could be completely someone else out there in the ether has decided to screw with the transaction in the middle. So yeah, just a word of wisdom.
The entropy.
And since Chris brought it up about lost packages and all this, I think one of the things that also should weigh on everybody's mind is insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance can be purchased on any value item. The real question to yourself is this something that I could afford to lose and it won't affect me personally?
Right.
There are people that sell $100 coins all day long. If one gets lost, they're like, you know, that's it. But if it's an emotional thing for you, it's like, man, it's $100. That's a lot of money. If I had to give this person a refund because something was lost or it was misdelivered or something happened, then, you know, maybe at that point in time, you ought to really ask yourself, man, I should have bought the insurance. When it comes to post office, you could only max out the insurance value to a certain amount of money, and then you have to actually go and get outside real insurance, like legitimate insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. Items of extraordinary value require first-class, first-rate type insurance. But that's also important. You know, is it something that you can afford to lose and it won't affect you financially? I know for me, if I lost, it's, you know, if a $500 coin end up missing, and that person says, well, I never received it, and for whatever reason you didn't get tracking or anything like that, you have no recourse. How are you going to protect yourself? And another thing real quick, with this whole COVID-19 thing, someone had mentioned it, and I brought it up in a video. If you pay for signature through the post office, keep in mind, they're not obligated to get a signature because of their own health and wellness policy or getting a signature. They'll just drop it off at your front door or in the mailbox. So keep that in mind. That's $2.50. They could probably save by not doing it until they change that policy. And that's only because of everything going on with the virus. But why are we talking about this? It's because we're coming up onto the holidays. It's probably one of the more active transactions for coins, precious metals. You know, I don't have to paint the picture for you, but I know I send out coin gifts quite a bit during November and December, and it's going to be a very important lesson for everybody. So, you know, give you guys some practice, you know, to do what you guys do. I know I buy more coins during the holidays. I don't know why, but you know, it's just the time of the year, I guess. But anyways,
Because they're shiny like silver bells.
yeah.
I don't know. I knew that.
By the way, one more thing about insurance. I was talking about those priority mail packages. You get those priority mail flat rate packages. They come with $50 of insurance already on them. I mean, that's a pretty good value. 50, you got it, baby. $50. You heard that right here.
It's free.
Free.
For a flat rate cost of $12.95.
You know what? Let's also talk about how these packages themselves are free. You can go on the USPS website and you can literally order an entire case of bubble mailers, and they will be sent right to your home for free.
And boxes.
For emergency
Boxes,
fabrication.
flat rate.
It's
Large
free shipping material too. You don't even need to use it for priority. I use that stuff for my own first class packages. That's the beauty part of it.
It says right on them you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
I've seen it twice on the sales groups over the last year, maybe 15 months. People were complaining that they sent the money, or I sent the coin before I got paid.
Oh yeah, you see that every once in a while. It's like, really? Why are you? And then they want to put the other person on the blacklist because they were stupid and sent the coin before they got the money. No, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Yeah, Blues, I'm glad you brought that up because I've seen it too.
Never be so anxious for a sale that you're willing to compromise best practices.
And every time I see it, I'm like,
every time I see it, I'm like, how did you
cringe?
Think that was okay? It's just
the only time that is I would deem acceptable if I was dealing with a good friend within the coin community, someone that's bought stuff from me before. I'll be like, hey, yep, you're going to buy this, no problem. I'll get it in the mail. I'll send you an email invoice in a couple days.
Yeah.
I know these people. I know I'm going to get paid. I know how to find them.
You know where to find us.
I know where you be.
I know where to find you. So,
but by the way, those PayPal invoices automatically transitions that transaction to a goods and services. Yep. You are covered, especially on like pre-sales. I've had a few of those where I've pre-sold something that was going to be released a month out or so. I will send an invoice. If it doesn't happen, then that customer gets a refund. It's also a good safeguard.
Oh, so you're the one, huh?
No, I'm not that guy.
You're that
Those
guy.
They're also great. If you
I
have
don't
a bunch of items,
I pre-sell other things.
If you're selling a bunch of items to one person, 10 items to one person, those invoices are also great because you can print out a packing slip. It just makes it really convenient to when you're making your packages up, especially if you have multiple packages going out. Like me, it's all going to be when I start selling again. It's all goes out 1 or 2 days out of the week. So those invoices and packing slips really make it easier for me.
Well said. And you know what? Sharp Eye 4 Coins actually made a really good point. If a seller is going to give you a hard time about an invoice or doing a goods and services transaction to save a buck, they're probably someone that you don't want to do business with in the first place.
Little red flag, yeah.
Walk away. Yep. Exactly.
Do not bend. And like Jeff said, don't forego best practices or common sense. To skirt the system, save a buck or two, because that's what's really at stake. You're trying to save $2-3, and I would gladly pay $3 to safeguard a $50 coin if it was done correctly.
So Stuart, I don't know about everybody else, but I do use PayPal to do my shipping labels. He said he prints his labels on eBay. I use PayPal to do my labels, invoices, anything like that. But I also use Pirate Ship. So I mean, I don't just use,
Yeah, and I use stamps.com, which the rates are marginally lower by 20 cents.
Same with Pirate Ship.
Yeah, that's another way. Yeah. With eBay, if you're a volume seller, you could actually do a gang ship. Like you could ship 10 different packages all on one screen. Where on PayPal, it's kind of like you got to do one.
Yeah, and you can do that with Pirate Ship too. And I've only used Pirate Ship to ship to Canada because it's so easy. it's just like, you know, I mean, the customs form and everything, it's just like easy peasy. So that's all I've used Pirate Ship for so far. But Ida uses basically she always uses Pirate Ship, and I think Jeff Stanley started using it too.
I do. I use it religiously.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
You just have to type in Pirate Ship, Donna, and it's super easy to get signed up. It's free. I mean, you can print your labels from home. It's really easy. So, and they talk like they go, "R, welcome."
It's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
That too, Frank.
Okay. Anyway, are we ready to look at some coins?
I think so.
I think everybody else, they're probably ready.
The booty. Yes.
I
Ready for bed.
hope this helped you guys. I hope this helped. So.
Oh, wait, we're talking about coins.
After
no.
we get done doing some coins here, we will have a chat question section. So if anybody's going to have any questions at the end of the stream, you can put them in the chat, and we'll try to answer them the best we can. And it looks like Shay has got the first one ready to go here.
And I will be right back.
All right. So from Ida Herring, 1938S, Lincoln Cent. I love my cherry pickers guide. Thank you, Paula. This is so exciting. It is FS01501. This came from one of my customer rolled coins I got last week. This was the only coin in the roll worth keeping. So just wanted to brag about this one because my showing off coins have been far and few between lately. And so just wanted to say thank you to the panel for all you guys teach me. Oh, sure, Paula.
Oh, that was an insult.
I'm looking at Paul's name and I'm saying, oh my God, I'm sorry.
It's like going out on a date with someone and you call them by a different name.
I've done that. Are you Janice or Marguerite? Or after about the third guess, you get a slap, right?
Sharona?
My Sharona.
I'm gonna call him Polida, and then I might have.
There you go.
Oh yeah. By the way, speaking of birthdays, we have a couple. Value Hunter has a birthday today, and so does our good friend CJ. I'm not sure where he's at. Haven't seen him tonight. Happy birthday to you guys.
Happy birthday, Value. Keep hunting.
Oh, Bob.
Feliz compiano.
Boom.
That's a beauty.
Good Lord above. That's nice.
Can't miss that one.
two of it.
Look, I thought that was a 70, what you call it at first when I first saw it too. I can't remember which number.
38S.
That's monstrous.
And the coin is in good shape too.
Oops, somebody missed.
So that was in a customer wrapped roll of coins?
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Unbelievable.
Oh, go to her banks.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Ida. Thank you so much for sending that in.
Time to look for the 502, Ida.
Yeah.
One down, one to go.
I'll tell you what, Ida, when you find them good.
Shit. That logo is so cool.
Look at that professional looking logo. I'll tell you what.
Need to go on period, man.
That is sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Who else is ready?
I'm gonna get that tattooed somewhere on my body.
I don't know. Yeah, right.
You guys in chat, you get the pick where I put it on my body.
Oh.
Oh, we're going to auction that body part off.
Get ready for disappointment. That's all I have.
You can't use Mantic Coins.
Hey, you could use Paula's bubble mailer.
Your eyelids. Oh, buddy, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, Paula's not even there. She left the room.
That's creepy as crap, too.
Yep, I had to leave the room real quick and get some hot stuff.
Who's next? Amanda, Jeff, who wants to go next?
Who's got one ready?
I can go one now.
Oh, okay. You mean the show? Okay. Go ahead, Amanda.
Amanda, go ahead.
Faux show.
Faux show.
Hey, Blues, is that a Fire King mug?
Ouch.
It says I love Grandpa on it. It's one that's microwavable. All right, we got one from T Collect. Reference to 1961 D Lincoln Cent D over horizontal D. All right, hi team. Here's what I believe to be a D over horizontal D on this 1961. Please educate this on this variety and provide variety, rarity, and possible value.
I found one of these in the wild once. They're really nice.
Yeah, I looked at this coin the other day, and I don't even have my notes with. I'm never ready. God. I believe this came back as RPM 001 stage D. The stage D photo.
And let's see here.
There's like 47 1961 Ds or 67 RPMs to be found.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, looking pretty good.
Another one that's hard to
One of
miss.
the easiest one of the D over horizontal Ds to recognize, I think.
So yeah,
Too good.
that
Too good.
find the coin is in nice eye appeal condition.
I think that other crap the arrows are pointing at is just MD.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think that stuff is on every 61, isn't it? Like master die engraving lines.
Yeah, like
kind
probably. Yeah.
of like 1960.
1960, yeah, it's even more exaggerated. Everybody wonders if it's a overdate or something like that. And
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry, that's just normal design. That's all.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool RPM, though. Probably one of the more recognizable ones out there. It's a good, fun one to find.
Just oh my goodness.
I thought I heard a pop over there.
She came. Look.
Oh,
Family member.
Well, if it isn't a Dio double jizzle.
Oh, I'm missing the puppy.
Hey, dude, do you carry that thing around with you in town? You know, get all the ladies to smooch all over you?
Yeah, right.
You should if you're not.
Yeah, that is definitely an attention getter.
Yeah.
Start playing frisbee. Get them started early.
Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula, welcome back.
Well,
Hey, welcome.
Did you
I know. I
spray
can't
the
believe
thing?
everybody hung around for so long and listened to us be all long-winded and everything. That's awesome.
shall I get this one? From
let me read this one because I made a mistake and accidentally cut off, I think, the last word. So I'm gonna.
But I'm no something at the bottom there.
The long way there. From Nira.
Go for it.
1901. No mint Mark Morgan. This coin has been in my late grandmother's leather coin purse that the family had left in a lockbox at our local bank. I'm 73 years old now, and my grandmother passed away back in 1969. According to old banking records, she put the coins in the lockbox in 1943. To me, they look better in real since they're not magnified from camera. My question is, should I have the coin graded since the 1901 no mint mark is a key date coin in a high grade brings premium? I am not a coin collector and really have no idea for this coin other than always wondering if it could be worth anything. I feel that it is a good candidate for a MS rating, other than a few bag marks that most of these coins had. But any coin damage to the coin has been prior to the last 77 years in the bank vault. I've compared photos of my coin side by side of the same dated coin at PCGS website, but I'm no expert. All right.
I don't know Morgan's.
Right.
The question was, should they have it graded? Correct?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the big question. But I did some additional research that may or may not be pertinent to this. I'll present that. I'll go ahead. You go ahead and answer, Chris.
Well, 1901, as far as I can tell here, is not a key date by any means. So there's almost 7 million of them minted. So it's not even really a tough date. So with that being said, and the obvious wear on the high points of the coin, you got a bunch of nicks and scratches in the surface of the coin. Absolutely not worth grading.
Doesn't it look clean too? Like dull?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It most
Hard
likely.
to tell,
Yeah.
Well, that thing there. Look.
Got that right.
What'd you say, Chris? It looks like what?
Sliced.
Yeah, net graded, you're probably looking at about an XF45 on this one, which, yeah, that wouldn't be worth grading.
Right. Now, I did see something that kind of caught my eye. Literally, you'll see why in just a second. I'm not 100%. I'm kind of leaning towards it not being but it was worth bringing up that it may be a VAM. Caught this little bit on the eye here. Right here. And I thought...
You're talking about like the alligator eye?
Not really.
Something like that?
This is from VAM. Right here. This is the picture from VAM World. They call it a spike eye. It's a VAM.
Spike eye.
Spike eye.
I'm not really convinced that that's it. The picture is not quite good enough, but I'm thinking if this person is viewing later or whatever, they might want to take a scope or a loop to that. And
they're amazing.
If they have this,
it doesn't even look like it's in the same direction.
Yeah,
it's way higher too.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth researching. The picture, honestly, was not good. Really focused on that. I just thought it would be worth for the individual to take a closer look at that, just in case.
Yeah. In hand.
Adam Chambers says this has a prominent DDR we should check for.
Yeah, that's on the bottom of the tail feathers on the reverse, and I did look and did not see no evidence of that.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see.
Thank you, Adam.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
So
so surprisingly. No, sorry, go for it.
I did transposing that email here. He had actually gone on to it was they'd gone back and forth where somebody had requested additional pictures. Grandmother mentioned it being a double eye or something, and that's why I focused in on and saw that little bit on the eye there. I didn't even look for the rest. I just kind of wanted to address that one issue there. The reverse for that VAM 12 looks correct. I'm just not convinced it's that eye. So anybody else have any other comments? Anything else you want me to look at?
Yeah, just to put things in perspective, I found a very similar coin currently listed on eBay with only about 23 hours left to go. It's a 1901 Morgan XF details grade because it was cleaned, and it's very, very similar to the one we're looking at here. And right now it's at $46.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go much higher than that, to be honest with you.
The grading fees and the shipping and handling from PCGS or NGC will eat up all the profit.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to recommend to everybody that until you learn a little bit about grading, get a little bit comfortable in your skills as far as grading, where you can get at least somewhere in the ballpark. You know how to identify a cleaned coin or a details coin, and then you learn the values of the coin, and also what it costs to have it graded, insurance, shipping, everything else. Don't even think about sending coins in to be graded until you've learned a little bit more about it. Ken used to say, and all of us have said it in the past, if you have to ask, should it be graded, then your answer is no. Because you shouldn't have to ask.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, if you go over to Ken Piggy's YouTube channel, he actually did a video on should I get this coin graded.
Yeah,
and it's a great video. He explains everything. So
I think that was my clue video last Big Show, something like that. Oh no, I don't know.
Well, you gotta know the coin before you buy the coin,
Yeah.
right? And if you do your research, you'll know what the top pop is. You'll know what you're looking for specifically. So when you meet it, when knowledge meets the opportunity, you grab it. And if you don't know about grading, how would you know whether a particular coin was worth what the seller's saying it's worth? So you got to know your coin. You got to know how to grade. Then you can put a price on it. And then at that point, I think you're ready for the next stage, which you'll already know the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Especially if you do a little research on how much it costs to have things graded.
CFA brought up an excellent point. All Morgans are VAMs. Every single Morgan is some type of VAM. The question is that VAM worth anything? The ones that are going to be worth something that may be worth sending in, getting a grade on them for a common date would be your VAMs that fall within the top 50 or hot 100 VAMs.
And then you look at condition of the coin.
And based on the condition. And it's, again, it goes back to research for these things. I do not know Morgans very well. Morgans are a stretch for me. So I'm really careful. Anytime I get one, I do a lot of research on it when I'm trying to determine what I have. That's a learning curve for me.
Yeah, I just posted a link to Ken Peavy's video on should I get this graded up in the chat. So that's a great video. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, but he pretty much goes over everything in detail. And he has fun doing it. Yeah. If you've ever been on his streams or his videos, he has fun doing it, but he gets the information out.
And CFA did an entire series. I believe it was 100 days of VAMs. So if you go over to Coins for Amateurs, they have a fantastic series that they did on VAMs and Morgan dollars. So go check that out.
It's a beautiful series. You guys got to check it out.
100 days of VAMs.
100 days of VAMs. So go check them out. It's awesome.
Yeah, let me get his link.
Yeah, guys, go look for that 88 Hot Lips. That's a good one.
They're right here, baby.
Yeah, here's a link to the CFA's YouTube channel. You'll find it in his playlist.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
It's amazing.
Vammy.
Fantastic.
We'll have a bam bam.
You'll have a bam good time.
All right.
All right, Betty Rubble.
From Anonymous, 1924S Lincoln. From Anonymous. I was searching some old crust wheats the other day, and I think this may be a dye variety. What value would you place on my coin if, in fact, it is a known variety? Copper Coins does not say much about it. Can you give me the breakdown and tell me what I have here, and is it rare? It's the same coin. The lighting was different in some of the pictures. Let's see what we got. Got a talkative baby in the background there. It looks like a DDR.
It is a DDR.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
That's Tim.
I think that is FS801.
Dotzilla there.
Yeah, thick of an L. Thick
24 hours.
Yeah, I have DDR1. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here, I'll put a link so they can see it.
Good
That's
eye, good eye.
Nice early DDR.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Shay. I was just going to bring that up.
But was the question about an RPM?
No, it was which variety is it?
Okay.
How much is it worth?
Oh.
Is it rare?
So remember we talked about condition. Condition. This coin's
Bless you.
not in the best of condition. Looks like it may have been cleaned at some point. But that is a nice DDR.
Yeah, you always got to look at the reverse. Y'all don't ever forget. I've bought coins on eBay where the person said it was a DDO, RPM, and all the like 3 other things, except that it was actually a DDR like this.
So this is a cherry pickers variety, I believe. I don't know if anybody has it. I have a cherry pickers guide.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh.
No.
I have one.
Haunted door.
I'm slow on the ball tonight.
24S, right?
I'm having issues.
Yes, 24.
That's a nice early DDR.
It's a beauty.
Not in the latest cherry pickers.
It's not in the 6th edition.
Yes, Ida. On the reverse, the bottom of the E, the bottom of the L are the main giveaways for the DDRs, and then the little dot in between the lettering will actually not be round. It will actually look like a jelly bean. There we go. Eric put that information in there. Thank you so much.
I have a feeling this is one of those coins that's worth more in my collection because I love varieties than it
I know, right?
gold, right?
Well, I'm gonna look and see.
I mean, a 1924S, I mean, in this condition is probably worth what, $1? But the DDR, how much value does it give to? Well, it's probably going to be specific to a niche buyer like myself who wants these types of coins.
Yeah.
Or,
Hey, Shay, can you click on reverse of it real quick?
That's the auction.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, the bottom of that E, the bottom of the L.
Freaking dot, man.
Yeah, it's not a cherry pickers, guys. It's not a Phoebus Stanton. So, but
I didn't think that'd be in the secret.
yeah, no, it's not. But it is a nice DDR.
Yes.
And in my opinion, it should be in the cherry pickers guide. But
Yep. And then the dot is not round; it's peanut shape or jelly bean.
It's like a figure 8. It's so wide.
Yeah.
Stuart Pritchard wants to see the dot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not in the
barrels.
I don't know why.
Jennifer wants to play fetch.
I mean, you look at the big old fatty wheat stem. I think you're going to be able. Yeah, there's some notching in America and states. The O has that eyeball shape. I mean, it's a nice variety. Big old hockey dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's listed, Amber. Variety Vista has it listed as DDR001. That's the only place I've looked, but they're not great about cross-referencing.
Mr. Don Rickles.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a nice DDR there. That one sticks out.
Yeah, this is a class 6.
If only it were
that distension you can see in the.
It would be perfect.
Towards the center of the coin.
I don't think I have a decent 24 SMA.
Well, I know where you can buy one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have one of my Dan's growing.
So I think he asked about rarity too. So be careful when you're throwing out the word rare. There's there is a rarity scale. I don't know what this ranks on the rarity scale.
It's an antique.
It may be scarce. Rare, I doubt. But
for some reason that sticks in my craw. Antique. It just it seems, I don't know, weird, wrong or something.
So you guys think just a few bucks? Is that what you're putting the value on that? I mean, even though we don't typically give values.
I wouldn't pay more than $3 or $4 for that. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Definitely want to auction that one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Crawford real quick to see if I can find anything.
When I'm looking at coins and I'm trying to figure out if that's a good deal on the coin, my basis for what I'm willing to pay is grade value.
Yeah.
Sharp eye. Actually, for a 24S, that reverse is fairly sharp. Because
the reverse is much better than the alpha, for sure.
Yeah. So,
in my opinion, this coin is worth more keeping in your collection and using it to identify what a class 6 double die would look like and studying it. This would be a coin that I would keep for myself.
So Wexler has a listing, and he put a value at VG of $7.
Okay, yeah, I think
maybe a scotch more than that.
Fine of $15.
Well, it's going to be a details. I have.
Yeah, that's scratch.
That's scratch dough. Oh my God, my cat is digging to China. And she's doing it via Linda's chair.
I didn't even check the grade on this thing. Wow.
Well, there you go. Sharp Eyes got it for $10. Anybody? Do we have 11 bucks? $11. How much?
I'm telling you, man.
So I think Amanda has the next one.
Oh, Sharp Eye for coins.
Yep, nice looking DDR.
I know that.
Mr. Jeff Stanley.
I'm jealous. Joe Sharp. Hey, I know that guy.
I guess I'll read it. Hi all. Going through bankrolled coins, I found this 1958 D Lincoln wheat cent that appears to have a die clash on the reverse, and I'm wondering if you could help me confirm. It appears that there are letters between the E, pluribus unum, and the 1 on the reverse, including what appears to be half an M toward the east. These are raised marks. If this is a clash, what do you think the die was clashed with? If not a clash, what could have caused this? Your help is greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance. Reply to follow-up. I tried to get the whole coin, but can only get close on this scope. Not sure if you got my last email, though, but those marks are in cuse. I tested with a toothpick. Not sure what it means, if anything.
Well, we're going to tell you right now.
Let's find out.
Well, let me tell you.
That looks like a lamination to me.
Oh, that sure is.
It's coming apart.
That's one of those laminations that looks like a zipper.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
That's cool. See how it's like slightly woody, right?
Joe. You are not allowed to come in here and be embarrassed about anything. I will time you out.
Oh, there you go.
I guarantee you.
I like this thing. That's the reason why I picked this one out.
I guarantee you that there are people in this chat, in this room right now who are learning something new because you asked that question.
Right. I like how it's got like a transition zone there. It's kind of normal down
I
here.
really like those laminations.
It's got that really cool transition zone right there where
You can definitely tell in those where the contaminants were in that.
The crazy ones.
Contaminants, anyone? I really like those laminations.
Yeah, I like them too.
Mm-hmm. And that was a perfect description, Chris. Like a zipper.
Yeah, it looks like a zipper.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot like that. But that was
you know
pretty,
what? Joe, it looked like letters because that's what your mind wanted it to be. Because that's how our brains work. You know? When we see something, it's like, I mean, I can see that looks like an L and an A.
Minute. Holy.
Yeah, I was just going to mention something on that. When you're looking at the coin and you're like, wow, that looks like letters, subconsciously,
a couple of boots.
Mind is seeing. So the more you look at it, the more it will look at letters.
Yep.
The best thing to do is, if you're not sure, just put the coin away for an hour. Come back with a fresh mind, re-look at it, and
yeah.
I think the best thing to do is send us a picture and ask us about it. And then we get the fun of looking at your coins.
Yeah, I like that answer too.
Yeah. But we were told
that answer three.
By Professor Peavy, you know, if you see something and you go, that looks funny, put it aside, do a little study, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
And put it in the blue cup.
And put it in the blue cup.
Where all the important stuff went.
Awesome. Let's see there.
Thank you for that one, Joe. That was a good one. I first took a look at it when I first was looking at it in the email. I'm like, oh, that's just damage or something. I'm like, then I was like, wait a minute, it's got that zone there where that's a bad alloy mix. That's some lamination occurring.
That wood just started flaking right off.
Yeah, or contaminant in the alloy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jonathan in chat, go ahead and send us your email, man. We'll take a look at it. We look at emails daily.
Yeah, we probably won't get to it tonight, but we're on every Monday. And if it's something that we can just answer in an email, a lot of times you guys will just receive replies from us in your emails. So don't be discouraged by that.
No.
Sometimes we have so many emails that we can only pick a few coins. We actually didn't pick very many for tonight because we knew we were going to have a long topic to talk about. But yeah, you'll always get a reply from us. So
Yeah, that's a good point, Long. Yeah, we got the Facebook page too.
yeah, we have Coin Q&A on Facebook. Please, if you request to join, there's like 4 questions. Just answer them. They're simple. It's not a test. The most important one is the last one, that you agree to the rules. And just put I agree or agreed. But please, because we decline a lot of requests simply because people, I mean, it's only 4 questions. It takes like 2 seconds to answer the questions. So
If that, yeah.
yeah, and if you don't get accepted right away, go back and make sure that you've answered all the questions and try again. Because as long as you answer the questions, you know. But it's a great group. It's a great group. I happen to think it's one of the better groups that I've been involved in, and it's simply because
I barely do
it's targeted at people who really want to learn, who really want to learn. So, and which you guys are, because you're here every week.
True that.
Next email is from Miss Ida. 1972D Lincoln Cent RPM. Hello, my favorite panel experts. I found these while roll hunting customer wrap rolls, and I believe they are both 1972D RPM 001 on Variety Vista. However, once again, I am baffled by the die markers, etc. Please, if this is what I think it is, show me those silly die markers. Thanks. I appreciate all your help.
Say I'm not silly.
I just want to, that email really helps us out because it said, I think it's this on this site.
Yeah, it shows that she's done her research.
So now we can go directly to that site and look and compare the pictures of what she's seeing to what's on the site, and we can give maybe a faster answer or confirmation or non-confirmation on it.
Yeah. Well, so I had a discussion on IDAs this morning about die markers. And we actually went to Variety Vista and looked at this particular variety. And I showed her, if you scroll down at the bottom, how there's different stages listed. And on this particular one, there's only one stage that's listed, and it's stage C. So I explained to her how markers can come and go on a die. They can change, they can come and go. He only has stage C listed on that because that's the only example of that coin that he has received to photograph and show die markers and list die markers. So I think one of the markers was a clash on this. And I explained to her how that clash can be abraded away, so it won't necessarily show in a later die stage. You know, there's cracks and abrasion, you know, die scratches, things like that can be, like, you can have a die scratch on an earlier die stage, and as that coin strikes more coins, it gets worn away, so you're not going to see it in a later die stage, or vice versa. So you can't always, what you do is you find the doubling first, or find the RPM first. Your best die marker on this coin right here is that mint mark position. That is your best die marker.
You're looking right
With
at it.
a double die. If you have a double die that has a mint mark on that coin, that mint mark position, and this is prior to 1990, mind you, because this is when the mint marks were punched into by hand. So prior to 1990, that mint mark position is your best die marker. But always find the doubling first. We see it a lot. We see people going to these sites and looking up these varieties, and they don't have any of the doubling or an RPM, but they found a die marker that matches their coin. That's coincidence. So,
and usually with a closer look, you can throw it out, you know?
yeah. And it also helps you, like on 1960Ds, where there's 1,000,001 different RPMs. If you look at that mint mark position, you're going to be able to eliminate several of them right off the bat. So did we all agree that this was the 001?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Do we want to look at the second one?
Sure. And that's a nice RPM, Ida. She's killing it. You need to stop sending me pictures, Ida, because I'm like dying over here.
Blam.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Beauty.
can't find RPMs and rolls for some
I
reason.
can't find. I'm the only person in the history of coin collecting that's ever looked through 2 whole rolls of 60Ds and not found 1 RPM. I don't know how it happened.
I have
That's
no
rare
luck.
in itself.
I have terrible
Yeah,
luck.
that's rare in itself.
It is rare. I gave up. I still have 8 more to look at, and I just gave up.
you can send me any you don't want.
I will send them to you. I'll be happy to.
Post office bug. Never mind.
If you send him to Shay, he's going to find 49 RPMs in that roll.
And he better not tell me. He better not say a word.
The only coin that's not an RPM will be the one on top.
Right.
That's when it gets the most fun, is when somebody else finds something and then to rub it in.
Well, every once in a while, I'd like someone to throw me a bone, but that's okay.
I was going to send her a whole roll of 60D RPMs and see what happens.
Well, that's the thing. I actually have
cherry
several. I have
picker.
several rolls of 60D RPM. Don't ask me why I bought more rolls. I don't know.
That comment right
I have a
here was
problem with it.
entertaining in itself, Shay.
Sharp eye for coins. Yes, you could find both. A great example, I guess, is what, the 42S, where you could find an RPM and a double die on the same coin. That's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
And I've actually been trying to put together a small collection of different denominations with multiple varieties. It's kind of a neat.
And there's
thing.
a few, I believe there's a Mercury line that's got a RPM, a DDO, and a DDR.
But you will notice on those coins, because we will tell you oftentimes you'll see pre-1990, you'll see MD. You'll see MD, machine doubling, and it'll be on the date and the mint mark, right? And we will always say, anytime you find the same doubling on the date and the mint mark, it's MD every time. However, don't be confused with this doubling that you're finding on the coin that also has an RPM. They're not, the doubling is not going to be the same. It's different. So you can still use that rule anytime you find prior to 1990 the same doubling on the date and the mint mark. It's machine doubling every time. You can take that to the bank.
Crispy mofo, just remember though, lamination issue is a planchet problem. A die crack by definition is on the die itself. But the crack can, eventually spread and maybe cause issues with a planchet that's going to be prone to a lamination issue anyway. I can see where that would happen, but I just didn't want you to be confused about that.
Yeah. That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
We did lose one panel member tonight. Chris Rhodes had to go. He said that 4 o'clock comes early and he worked long hours at his job. So he sends his best, wishes everyone a good week.
Oh, dang it. I didn't even get to kiss him goodbye.
I know.
Wah, wah, wah.
You could kiss me twice.
I'll give Shaun an extra one.
I'm glad we did the moment of silence for Mr. Chris as he goes off into the abyss.
I got this one, man. From Adam C. regarding 1940S Lincoln. This coin has a lot going on with it, and I'm not very good with cuds, and I believe I may have found one. This coin also looks to be weakly struck, clash, toned, woody, and what looks to be a pre-cud or wait a minute, woody? Oh, cud, sorry. What do you think? We shall see.
Ooh.
One, yes, definitely a woody. Two, it needs to be in my collection. Oh, that's probably interesting too. I have a theory on this, but I'm not.
Well, I'd like to see a little further down that wheat stalk and see if that's a retained cud or not.
Oh, can you not see?
Almost looks like. Nah, I don't see really.
No, and we don't have further down the wheat stalk. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Kablanc.
Looks to me like a retained cud.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the displacement.
But they have bow tie looking stuff in the middle there. That's
Different.
different, totally.
Yeah, so you can tell. I mean, it's not a cud yet because this would all be solid flat on there from the die breaking off completely. The die is still, while broken, it's still in place.
Yes, the collar is holding that most likely in place.
And so you can see some of the rim there.
Keep your eye peeled for like.
But it's broken enough that it's shifting, so you're getting metal displacement.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's depth there.
The D word.
You get horizontal or lateral movement.
Mm-hmm.
There's no replacement for displacement.
And that is the true definition of retained cud. So you'll see a lot that are just a die crack. And I was confused by this for the longest time, I have to admit. I thought just having a die crack from the edge back to the edge, a continuous die crack, and then it was a retained cud. Because all the information out there, you look at pictures, and it's just a die crack. And it is, folks, it's just a die crack.
Mm-hmm.
You have that displacement in order to really call it a retained cud, in my opinion.
You're 100% correct. You have to have that. You have to have that metal movement, that displacement, for it to be a true retained cud. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a die crack, and it doesn't. It, doesn't mean that chunk of the die is ever going to fall off and become a true cud. It's
it probably was just about to too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had some other stuff going on.
Greaser.
Wow, really well-defined greaser.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah, filled die.
And that's just your usual. Didn't look like a bow tie from farther back. Yeah.
Same thing.
Ooh, what's all that?
Metal
That's
crack.
a clash, yeah. Or is that it? Oh, no. Holy crap. Kind of yanked the E.
Yeah, it kind of looked like there's another die crack going right through that down into across the O and into the E.
Yep.
And look at the left wheat. Yep, right there.
Yeah, so this die didn't have much longer to go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I think what you're seeing on the reverse is not a clash. That's called progressive indirect design transfer. PIDT.
I was thinking that was what that crack was at first. But no, that was definitely,
Which is basically just the die wearing. Okay, guys, I got to go prep for Prime Day. Oh, Prime Day. Is tomorrow Prime Day, remember? Is tomorrow Prime Day? Please say it ain't so.
It's the first
Exercise
day of Prime Day, I think.
Prime Day. I think it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Going
I'll be
to-
ready. I'll put my tracksuit on. Tomorrow's Prime Day.
Oh,
All right, this is a nice, easy one. So I'll take this one. This is from Jimmy, and he's asking, "Is this an error coin? Looks like a cud to me."
Tonight at midnight. Oh, I might be up.
19.
That big died sick. It actually may fall into the die break category because I believe it die anything over 3 or 4 millimeters. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is that's when it goes from being a chip to a break. So common in 2019 and 2020s. Super common to finding. Remember, a cut is at the rim. We just saw a retained cut.
Yeah.
So the word cut and chip are not interchangeable. They're two different things.
When you hear cud, yeah, definitely think rim. This one's deep. I mean, that is a deep break. If I'm seeing that right.
I'm Perian. Ken's got great videos on just about everything.
TC million.
That's a really good looking skin tag there.
What'd you call it? What did you say, Shaun?
The skin tag.
Skin tag. Oh my!
You might want to look into getting that taken off there.
I know it is kind of odd. Skin tag.
Yeah,
Once
when
it
it goes
starts
through your
moving
hair like
by
that,
itself, you might want to have it looked into laser.
That's so true, Aunt. Very true.
That's
And they're getting more and more common.
If it reaches down and takes a bite out of your food, it might be time to have it looked
You guys are gonna make me choke on my candy bars. 48 states said gum in the hair. Cut it out.
Peanut butter. Who's got?
Yeah, y'all be on the lookout for these in all the 2020 coinage. It's all over the place.
It is everywhere. Everywhere.
Bugs
Not
in the
to say they
dome.
aren't cool, because they are, but man, they really wanted to get
Like
these
some-
coins out.
Some you could come up with fancy names for.
You can, you know.
It's a spitball.
It's not a tumor.
Anybody watch Mike Pence, that fly land on his head? Just saying.
Somebody said that up there.
I'm surprised we're not hearing more about the fly.
Yep. Don't feel bad. I'm over here eating candy bar too.
I didn't hear a word either one of them said after that fly landed on his head.
I know.
It.
I was just kind of like, my
I almost
OCD is
broke my
like going.
I'll have somebody tell him.
Seriously, that's what like was going through my head. Would somebody please?
Maybe it stuck to the hairspray.
Oh my god. Who knows?
I think that's it. Does anybody else have any more coins to show?
I've got one more.
Space Invaders.
Oh, excellent. And then that should wrap it up.
It's another great question, but I like the coin that's associated with it. Everybody tired? Or I'll read.
Well, I just stole.
I don't see it.
That's a 7-minute roll.
I don't see the question.
I gotta flip over. Sorry.
There you go.
There
we go.
I still see nothing.
From Milpa. At which point, grading, guessing, is getting a grade from a profession grading firm worth it? This is my nice 1934 half using different cameras. Thanks. I think we covered at what point getting a coin graded is worth it, but
We covered that, but I thought it was worth showing the coin off.
Let me sing to you the song of my people.
Gets better.
beautiful walker.
Look at this.
Oh, there's that eagle wearing chaps again. It's a beautiful.
Oh, I can't unsee.
I know. It's a beautiful.
I will say,
Why would you do that?
Oh, I love these. I love this design.
The detail on the neck feathers is like bonkers.
yeah, that's,
That's
there,
cool.
this coin has. I looked at the prices, and you'd probably just about break even for the condition that it may or may not be in. Just looking at it, though, it's got a really. I can't see anywhere, but it's hard to tell. I kind of have to see it in the end. I will say this has an excellent strike on it.
Yeah.
My opinion on this is if you want to keep this coin in your collection and you have no intention on reselling this coin anytime soon, and you would like for yourself to have it in a slab,
yes,
just
it might be worth it just to protect it, to whatever. But I can tell you that you would have no problem selling this coin and getting the value in this coin.
Maybe even right here.
Yeah, maybe even right here. Any takers? Come on.
Yeah. I'd be completely willing to take that off anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful.
So this is a perfect example of collectors who know what they're looking at. Are most of us buy the coin and not the slab. We buy the coin and not the slab.
That's it.
We're probably not going to pay more for a slabbed coin when we can have a raw one like this.
Art, the history.
Not enough over the value or what we would pay for it to make it worth you putting the money into slabbing, because then you just lost that money.
Right. This is honestly on the walkers. This is something you look for here. Is this clearly defined hand where you can see the thumb, and it doesn't look like a club hand or something like that. You can.
That is like the high point on the obverse too, isn't it?
Yes, that's the high point on the obverse, and then
it's like
this
the tippity tappity.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Breast feathers.
Seeing those neck feathers.
Those are the best feathers.
Extraordinary eye appeal on it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, again, it's a little hard to tell any color change. There may be some slight wear that I can't quite make out.
I really want to see like up close in one of those fields because it's hard to tell. Plus, I'm going blind.
Well, let's see. Let's see if I can pull.
The only thing that worries me
You're
is
looking at those abrasions.
in the protected areas, and I don't know if this coin was ever dipped, but that's the feeling I got from it.
Yeah, up in the above the head.
You're focused with me then.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am, Frank.
But the reverse, and see, there's recessional dirt stuff still left.
Right up there in the corner. Yeah,
in the bait.
Yeah, the leaves of the the olive sprig. Man, there's a lot of stuff in there.
I'm trying to make up big words here. That's all I just did. What was like down at the date?
I believe it was a 34.
34, Ida.
Oh, okay, that might be a shadow. It looked like a little doo-doo spot.
I mean, the photos of the reverse are a lot better than the photos of the obverse, but.
God, that's the detail. I look past that kind of stuff when I see detail like that, though.
Yeah.
Well, this would be a great type coin.
Yeah.
It would be a great type coin, and I have a 7070 that I need to fill.
Okay, here's the type address label with my address on it. That's my kind of type coin.
Now, here's a very kind of like close distinction. So we have a 34 Philly, which it's common enough that even in this grade, let's say for argument's sake, it was a pretty nice middle of the road mid-city coin. I would still be kind of 50-50 on whether or not I should send it out. All right, just based off of the value. Now, if we went a year early, let's say if it was a 33D in the same condition, no doubt about it, it would be a PCGS yesterday. That's how fine of a line that you could get from 1 year to the other, just based off of conditional rarity.
Look at the detail on those stars on the flag too. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that's a good point, Shaun.
It just pops.
That's a good point.
When you get to 1939, 1940, a lot of detail just drops off. Like Jeff had mentioned, that hand holding the olive sprigs will flatten out on a high mint-state coin in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I would prefer, if there's a 34 is a great date, because any other date during the 30s can be a little tough.
And the minute just started going up too.
Yeah.
So they're making more of them.
I would say the only other safer date that would be affordable is 39, but again, you get into the flat strike on those where things get a little flat.
Oh yeah.
It's really important, like especially very susceptible to this, is if you can learn the series and learn what dates that full strike coins are rare in. Like for instance, if you see this level of detail in a 41S, that's money right there. That is an incredible find. You just don't find it. I mean, go out there and take a look at them on eBay right now. Look at 41S's. You're not going to see the hand like that. Except
41. Yeah, you make a good point. 41S. I would say a vast majority of them are very weakly struck.
I highly recommend that if you start collecting this series, get a good book on it where they actually discuss the conditional rarities in the different dates, so you understand that. I think there's one that's investing in Liberty Walking halves. That's a good one for this. They'll go into the conditional rarities, the dates where you've got poor strikes and good strikes.
Yeah, definitely nice looking.
Rarity. Whoa.
Eric, okay, I'm off the bed. Super excited to see you in the online club next Sunday, Shaun. I saw Paula may show as well. Y'all come by. It's a cool little group. Yep, I'm going to be there, Eric, the 18th, right?
Yep. Hey, Eric said he's setting his alarm.
I can't pass up an opportunity to see Shaun's face. Come on.
Hey,
look at that face.
Right.
It fills up the camera pretty well.
I like it. It's a nice face.
Yeah, the show's always over a little too soon. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you for here.
Yeah, and thanks for listening to us and bearing with us while we went through our little speeches earlier.
Soapbox theater.
We're passionate about the entire hobby and passionate about teaching what we can teach, and that includes buying and selling and all the other stuff that goes along with it. So
we just hope you guys. I hope we save you some time and some money. And some
money.
We want you to keep getting more into the hobby, not getting frustrated with leaving, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
All right. Well, we had a really good discussion earlier at the beginning of the show. I hope some information got passed on. I hope you all learned something, or even if we just gave the thought in your mind, hey, maybe I should do a little research or a little background information on this real fast. The information is out there. The websites are available.
Right here. The information's right here.
Buy right, and you could buy more than one coin.
CTC.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you've got more questions about that stuff, reach out and ask. If you're starting to sell and you kind of want to come up with your plan and your conditions and stuff like that, reach out to one of us. We'll be happy to help you out. I don't do a whole lot of selling, but I do understand selling. I understand what goes into a good seller and a bad seller.
And even on the purchasing side too, if you know, you're buying something on Facebook from someone else or another group, and you're kind of having second thoughts. Yeah, send us the picture. We'll let you know what's up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially a big.
And we all have our own channels also. So I think Eric put all of our links down in the description. So
Yeah, they're all down there. I'm pretty sure I copied and pasted.
Come by and say hi.
Yeah.
The big guy in the middle there, he's always on. He's a bit of
In
a
the secret square.
a bit of a blowhard, but he's, you know, his heart's in the right place.
Wow. He reminds me of Alice.
Who's
In
Alice?
Brady
It's
Bunch.
a story.
Whoa.
Yeah, we just got to leave this spot.
I was Alice last week.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing remarks from any of the panel members?
Have a good night, y'all.
Thanks
See
for
you next
coming, you
week.
guys.
Remarks.
We'll see you out there. Be safe, everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.
Adios.
Remember, next week, same channel, same time. We'll all be here. We'll have another discussion topic, and we'll have some more
It will not be spam.
So thank everyone on the panel for taking the time on being here tonight. It is always a pleasure. Everyone in chat, thank you. Everyone that sent in coins throughout the week and questions. We wouldn't have this channel without those, so keep it up.
Yep. See you next Monday.
Next Monday. Y'all have a good night.